This is the Sean Campbell Show, a podcast for the aspiring and hungry entrepreneur.
Hey everybody, Sean Campbell, the Sean Campbell Show, a podcast by entrepreneurs and for entrepreneurs, and recording this on the 3rd of July, and it's kind of quiet out there, not too much emails and not too many phone calls today. A lot of people are kind of taking the day off, an early day off to start, to celebrate the 4th of July. So it's good, it's good as a entrepreneur to have somewhat of a quiet day and kind of catch up on a lot of work and kind of finish up a lot of loose ends that are still lingering, but really kind of get the month of July off and the second half of 2020 off to a really good start. So, I'm just kind of reiterating a video that I did last week. It was on a Saturday, right before the end of the month, and now it's going to be a Saturday right after the beginning of the month. So I kind of want to tie this video into that one, and what is your mindset now that you finished 1 month off, and you're kind of beginning a new month, and even though it's a holiday, what is your mindset as an entrepreneur going into this holiday weekend? So my mindset is really just this is a really big chance for me to kind of get ahead of the game, finish up a lot of projects that are kind of in the works, or get ahead of a lot of projects, do a lot of planning, plan a lot of stuff out, so I can begin the first full week of July, off running. So there's nothing worse for me to feel as if I'm behind. I don't like feeling as if I'm a little behind. I don't like feeling stressed. I as a business owner, you're going to be stressed every day, but there's no worse stress for me than feeling as if I'm behind on a few major projects. So but this is an opportunity kind of with minimal noise out there, so to speak, because everybody else is kind of taking some time off. It's good for me because I get to kind of work ahead and try to be a little bit ahead of schedule going into like I said, the first full week of July. So I think that has to be your mindset, whether you're in business the first year, the second, or it'll be my 5th year heading into business for myself, this coming November. But, at the end of the day, the mindset is to work as hard as you did that very first day that you decided to go off on that venture. And I think that people that have that mindset, that work as hard as that very first day, that's where over time, it's where you can really see, some of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. So the gist of all this is really, and I saw this, I always kind of thought this, but I was never able to kind of verbalize it or kind of, have that statement, so to speak, in my head. But I saw this on Shark Tank, where one of the sharks actually did not invest into an entrepreneur who had a really good product, it was an app, I believe. But he felt that the entrepreneur didn't have enough paranoia in him. He wasn't paranoid enough. And he likes to invest in entrepreneurs who, are afraid that someone's going to come take their lunch. And I've always felt that way, no matter, if I have my office, or if I, invested in other things, or X amount of clients, I always have that fear, or that I'm always paranoid that something big is going to happen, and I need to prevent something negatively big is going to happen. I got to prevent that. And that's why even on the weekends and even on holidays, not that I'm not going to recognize the 4th of July tomorrow and appreciate everything that we have in our country and appreciate the independence we have, and but I'm going to come in with a mindset that I get to come in on this holiday tomorrow, and I get to, work ahead and stay ahead of the game, so to speak. I think you always need a little bit of, be a little bit paranoid that someone's going to come take your lunch, and you got to prevent that. So that's why, holidays for me, as I mentioned in the video last week, are a good time to get ahead of the game, stay ahead of the game, learn something new. because you have less noise and there's less phone calls and emails that you got to respond to, and less appointments. Obviously, no appointments today or tomorrow, which is great. So, but you got to take advantage of the time. You can't just have your toes in the sand and drinking a Mai Tai on poolside or anything like that. But I think that's how the mindset that you need to maintain each and every day is a work day for you. You got to schedule the time that you rest, schedule the time that you mentally take a mental break. But other than that, you got to keep to your schedule and really grind it out. And look at the holidays as a time to really kind of get ahead of the game. So I really appreciate you listening to, whether you're watching me on IGTV or my YouTube channel, which is going to pop up right here pretty soon, the little circle. Click on that, subscribe. And if you're listening to my podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and a few other platforms, you can check out your most favorite podcast. So appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to The Sean Campbell Show. Follow us on Instagram at The Sean Campbell Show.